Hello, everyone. Welcome to Boyo and the Beard. B, how we doing this week?
Not too bad. Finished 5-1 in fantasy this week out of my 6 leagues.
Huh.
I was 5 points away from a win in the other. I got Jacoby Myers on Monday night.
Yeah, that
I
dude
was
played well, huh?
I was up 15 and he dropped a 20 burger. So not happy.
He played well, to be fair.
Yeah,
Double or nothing, though. That never happens again.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Didn't
take
find
your.
Devonte Adams ever in that game for whatever reason, and that kind of pissed me off. But hey, what can you do?
Well,
Can't win them all.
Jimmy G's bum. So, get down to it. I mean, we really had some pretty good games here this week. I started out, I think we talked about that Chicago Washington game. Justin Fields back in action, doing his thing. DJ Moore stomping on everyone, 230, three tutties. Not the only guy that got three tutties here this week, but golly.
Well, that was the other
Bears,
reason why I
Bears back
lost.
in action?
It's looking that way. It might be a Chase Claypool thing. It might be the coach is letting him rip it finally and let him do his own game. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the two teams they've played. I know it's for sure the Broncos are the reason why they played that well, but Commanders were supposed to be. I think
Kind
they're
of nice
top.
defense,
They
yeah.
got a nice. At least they have a nice front four.
Yeah,
Uh, your rookie pick for
not
rookie of the
doing well.
year
Not doing well.
got benched from getting torched. So
That's okay.
very interesting. But that was the other reason why I lost that league. I got first night of the week. I got 32 Fields and 15 or whatever
For
Cole
commit.
Komet had.
Yeah.
So I really only lost that league because of four guys: Jacoby Myers, Cole Komet,
Fields, Cole Komet.
Fields. He had Tyreek as well, and then he also had New Orleans Saints D with a 22. So never mind. It was worst case scenario for everything. So, but
Uh,
he's looking good. Loving it for Dynasty for me. Those first 3 weeks, I was like, gosh, I wasted the 10th pick on this, and last 2 weeks, it's looking good. So we'll see though.
yeah, I think you really just let that dude. I mean, you damn near just let him do what he wants. I think he can get out of anything. We have Washington's defense; they look terrible.
So did the
Yeah,
offense.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, after putting up such a good fight against the Philadelphia Eagles, I would have expected a little bit more coming out of them
But
against
again, off
Chicago.
four
But
days, but Bears had the same thing. They were playing on 4 days as well, so can't really use
yeah,
that as an excuse anymore. But
running back room decimated for the Bears. I think they're picking up some dudes off the practice squad.
Devonta Foreman will be a healthy active this week, I would assume,
You think?
after being healthy scratch the last 4 weeks. So
Yeah, we'll see. Um, DJ Moore finally put in some work. I think he became the Chicago Bears all-time receiver last week. But seriously, I think he legitimately is like 7 yards away from like season high. So that's not good.
yeah,
But I mean, that's why they made the move. So Jacksonville, Buffalo, the game out in England. Bit of a tough one for Buffalo to lose Matt Milano, and I think all these players are complaining about the games internet services that Goodell had a conversation to see how these teams that are going to be staying over a week, how well do they do against teams that are just coming over,
yeah.
and that sucks. I playing around with teams like this, I think it's bullshit. I don't know what you do in order to make that a better situation, but that's dreadful.
It's just a money grab.
I don't like that at all. They said they're playing on cement. I I just don't understand what the big ordeal was with the NFL playing on turf. That's
Yeah,
they play on grass every week. The Spurs do. So why is it any different for the NFL games? Um, Jacksonville kind of got away with it with a couple of them. They could have had another 7 points here at the end of the second quarter. Trevor Lawrence does not look good. ETN kind of saved the day for them, but
Yep.
man, they need to get it together. We'll
That division's looking a lot tougher than it should be.
yeah, I agree. I don't think Houston really put it together here this week. CJ Stroud kind of got hounded, but Indianapolis looking nice. Anthony Richardson, stop taking hits, dog. He's gonna be out here for a couple weeks anyway, and
Yeah, he needs to learn the Hurts and all those guys that stopped taking the big hits. Every time you see Hurts run, instead of him taking off and maybe getting those extra couple yards, he's kind of just falling down before he even gets hit. So might need to take a look into that because best availability is availability.
best ability is availability.
There you go.
That's right.
I just
Yeah.
ruined that. Ruined that saying very badly.
Do not take a picture or a page out of Josh Allen's book. That dude gets hammered all the time, and I know he bounces up, but
one of these times he's not gonna.
He's not going to. Yeah. So Zay Jones, I was kind of surprised to see him. I didn't realize he was playing until he was on the field. But ETN, yeah, he's the top dog down in Jacksonville, and he looks really nice. So
For sure.
Good on them. Let's see. We had Houston, Atlanta. Dare I say it? Ritter looked kind of nice. He wasn't bad.
I didn't watch much of it, so.
I mean, he was finding Smith. I think that's tight end one.
John
He's tight end one down in Atlanta. But really, I think the
Pitts had more catches and yards than him, though.
But this is like the second or third straight week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely making some use out of him. I think you had the highlight reel and one mixtape maneuver from Bijan Robinson. He really put in some work, but their defense, Atlanta's defense, looked really, really nice. Didn't really give CJ Stroud too much time at all, and
that and when Tank Dell went out with the concussion, that kind of threw a couple things off. I feel like when it comes to Atlanta, you need to get the ball more to Bijan. Maybe not as much in the run game, but I think he had 2 catches and they were both in the fourth quarter. It's like, just get that guy out in space and let him do some things, man.
Yeah. Defense looked pretty solid though. They were hounding him all game. Pitts finally got some action. I think Desmond Ridder though, he did what he needed to do, and I mean, if that's a game manager, that's a game manager. But
and that NFC South's looking somewhat competitive right now, currently too.
I guess
Bucks 3-1 and Falcons and Saints 3-2. So
I think Evans still has another week before he comes back, but Bucks are looking pretty solid, and man, Saints defense is looking real rowdy. New England though, they could just be the worst team in the league. So maybe they snag Caleb Williams.
Maybe
they need some other help though. They need a lot of help.
I think they need a new coach.
Billy's done.
Great defensive scheme coach, but maybe I don't know if he's calling the offense or not. The offense that he runs, that's 10 years ago. You need to update it, get something new out there because teams are just all over everything. And obviously Mac's not the guy, but I feel like his offense is outdated.
I don't necessarily know that Mac is not the guy. I mean, their line sucks. Stevenson not doing well either. So, I mean,
that is definitely one of their bigger issues is the O-line.
I don't think Mac's good, but I think their line sucks. So how can you?
They've always had a good run game.
Yeah, and
So
Stevenson
it's
is not doing well.
he was
Ezekiel
good
Elliott's
last year. It's
I
just I don't get it.
it's not at this year to be fair. Detroit, Carolina. Detroit, man, takes them to Pound Town.
Mm.
Detroit looks nice, even without Sun God. They, they put in some work. So
Yeah,
Laporta is, I mean, do the dog.
rookie TE1. What?
Yeah, I mean Kelsey's tight end without really playing too much, I don't think. But I mean, tight end university, like Kittle said, they just put him out. Laporta is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Montgomery is looking nice as well. Gibbs, I don't know. Is he going to be able to get back in? Is he going to get into the flow of things, or do they need him? He just does what he does.
The pick's looking worse and worse as the weeks go by. Granted, he didn't play this week, but that's still not good that he didn't play. Yeah, it's just still don't get it. Still infuriates me, even though I don't have him on any of my teams. But yeah, I still don't get it.
How good is Aiden Hutchinson?
Dude's a freak.
Oh my gosh. His pick that he had the other day, at first glance I was like, what just happened? I didn't think he was anywhere close to. Oh yeah, he swatted that one right out of midair.
Yeah,
He's good. Kind of unlucky that they lost CJ early on. Um, but yeah, I think
just imagine how
Detroit.
much better that Detroit defense would be if you added Jalen Carter and put him on that side.
Oh my
I know I talk about
god.
this every week, so I'm sorry for.
You sound like a broken record to be
I
fair.
do.
But yeah, I mean that would be pretty nice. Um, what do we have? Yeah, those first two games, to be fair, we were off on. We had Buffalo winning, we had Houston winning. We're 0-2. We did take Detroit over Carolina. 17-10 is what you had. 27-16 is what I had. 42-24 was what it turned out to be. We both picked Indianapolis over Tennessee. Um, Ended up being 23-16. What does Tennessee do? They're,
I,
I mean, you're going to be playing some of the worst. Do you get rid of Derrick Henry just to see if you can't get anything for him?
I would get
Tajay
picked.
Spears is looking pretty solid.
Get picked. I mean, that's the other thing. Spears is looking nice. Get picks. Get something, man. I mean, is this his last year on his contract? I can't remember.
Yeah, we'll check and see here real quick
Um,
while you keep going.
Either way, you do that. You just let him walk, and then you get an allocated pick for whoever signs him. But
Um,
I feel like if you can get 2 picks now, at least a third and something like a fifth or something, a third and a fifth for him, I would rip it. It's got
uh,
to be a new era there.
yeah, unrestricted free agent,
Yeah.
and no, I think that's wrong. 2026. No,
Well,
2024. He could go.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like you get what you can for him now. Let Spears see what he's got. I mean, he looks good in the carries and touches that he's gotten, but they're what 2-3. They beat. I forget
they beat the shit out of Cincinnati.
that, and their other win was versus somebody that was a surprise win as well.
Chargers.
Chargers. Yep, that was the other one. So, I mean, it looks
They
like
got a
they're
pretty
going
nice defense, but
to. I mean, it looks like they're going to be in games consistently, but realistically, that team's not winning anything.
Yeah. Let Levis rip it. Let Malik rip it. Let someone else have a go. Maybe get rid of Tannehill as well.
Hey, Jets, we'll take a fifth, sixth for Tannehill.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't know.
I mean, Tannehill's kind of the same boat. He enters the final year of his season too. 2024 unrestricted
Yeah.
free agent as well, and I mean his cap hit is 36 and a half,
Yeah.
but
Your two biggest mainstays on your offense are done after this year, so might as well trade them or do something, rip off the band-aid and see what else you got over there. Because I mean, it's got to be sucky to be that team. Like, yeah, you're a pro and you're trying to win every game, but it's like, do you really think you're gonna win the Super Bowl?
um, I don't know. I mean, like, what did the Chiefs do all these years? You know,
I feel like we just played to play.
this is the same thing.
Yeah,
That kind of sucks.
I mean, that's just how I look at it. Like, maybe you go into that game and it's like the 1 out of 100 times you beat that team. That's like the team that's supposed to win it. That
I think the
you hope
problem.
for something like that, but their team's just not good enough to do. They're not going to beat the Dolphins. They're not going to beat the Bills. They're not going to beat the Ravens. They're not going to beat the Chiefs.
No, to be fair, they could beat the Chiefs. They play the Chiefs nicely every year. I think the biggest thing that's in question is like realistically, you're playing with you're playing with real money. You're playing with like not only like your team's money, but you're playing with like fans' money. If
Yeah,
uh, season ticket holders are going to be pissed off, people that are paying, we're going to be going to the Broncos game here on Thursday, and I realize that it's not necessarily. I mean, that's apples and oranges, but $500 here for two tickets, and it's probably half that for
where are you
Tennessee.
at?
134 in the
How'd
lower
you get
bowl.
those? You have
Remy.
a friend?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say
Um.
we were looking at the Chargers game 2 Sundays for my wife's birthday, and back up where our old spots were, in like 340, like up in the
Yeah.
uppers, 950.
What?
Yeah, 950 for the two.
Yeah.
And then
I
me and my wife talked about that today. It's like literally 2 years ago when we had season tickets, it was
is
like
950.
it was like
Thousand.
it was like 1,200, I
1,200.
think.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the year after that, when we could have renewed it, they brought it down to 800. But we were having our kids first week of the season.
Yeah.
It's like, would love it. I mean, I guess we could have done it and jacked up the prices and sold all our tickets every week, but we decided to get rid of them. And she mentioned that today. They're like, yeah, it's 950 for like right where we were at when we had the tickets for a grand 2 years ago. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I get that's what happens when you win and win Super Bowls. It makes sense, but man.
I
So
mean,
we're not doing that for her birthday. So
yeah. Then again, though, like when he went to Barcelona and watched them play, like Barcelona's been out and out, like one of the best teams in Europe for the last, 15, 20 years. And
yeah,
it was $80 a ticket. So I I just don't understand why it shouldn't cost this much.
now what's the stadium difference there? How many can they hold?
Like 92, 90, 96,
I thought they
20,000
were.
more.
I thought they were in the
And
hun- I thought they were in the hundreds, but
no, with standing room it used to be, but not anymore.
yeah.
But I mean, if you're
What would
Tennessee, like, do you want it? That's egregious, I guess, to just tank. If you're going to be asking people to pay $9 a beer,
I don't think they're gonna tank, but at the same time,
it, it,
are they better than half the teams they play?
no, and I'm not, I guess not necessarily tanking, but that would probably be the best sporting decision they could make.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I don't know if you can ask people to pay all that dough just to be able to, or just to. It's like, yeah, this year is not our year. So I don't know. Sucks because I really like Variable. I mean, I think he's a really good coach, and I think it inspires a lot of those kids. So,
Yeah.
D Hop, it makes it even more egregious that you just can't say these. They There's just nothing truthful about what D Hop said prior
Correct.
to, and that I think
I want to
is
play on a winner. I want to play with a good quarterback that gets me the ball.
yeah. He got the ball this week.
He got the
To be
ball
fair.
this week, to be fair. But
Yeah,
can you imagine him with Josh Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Hurts,
Herbert.
all Herbert, Purdy? Purdy would get him the rock.
My gosh.
But again, that's not the Titans offense. The Titans offense is run ball,
Yeah,
play action, crossers.
yeah. I don't know. They got a nice defense, but yeah, if they're gonna be on the field 24/7, they can't really do too much with that. Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor gets back in the mix, but Zach Moss, he's kind of on a snap count. Zach Moss kind of really handled the rock there
Yeah,
for most of that. Um, so
I had a buddy lose fantasy by 1 point because he started Jonathan Taylor over Zach Moss.
Okay, to be fair, you could have seen that writing on the wall.
Well, that's the argument I had with the other two idiots in my league chat that were like, "Why would you not do that?" And I said, "The dude hasn't played in 4 weeks. He was on the pup list.
I
The
mean,
owner said
hasn't played in like a year,
yeah, the owner said he'll never play another snap for the Colts."
and Zach Moss looked nice.
And Zach Moss has been top 10 fantasy running back this entire
He's looked
year.
really good. So
Their counter argument to that was,
it's
well,
Jonathan Taylor.
what about Kamara? And who was the other one?
Well, the problem is Jamal Williams is on IR, and Kendra Miller is a rookie.
Gosh, who was the other one?
I don't know who else it'd be, to be fair, but
I'm looking it up.
I mean, Kendra Miller, I think he's been hurt a little bit too. So, yeah, Kendra or Kamara was just looking to bust out and really have a go. So, Taylor was questionably hurt. Whether or not it was he actually was or not, I
Yeah,
don't
in
know.
training camp he looked bomb.
He looked dodgy.
Oh, Cup was the other one.
Okay, yeah. I could see that same argument with Cup, but they also, I mean, Stafford hyper targets.
Well, yeah, and if you look at a lot of the Cooper Cups, it was the wide receiver screens.
Or slants. I mean, he had about four slant routes over the middle.
Those were the other two that they were trying to say. My argument was dumb. That why would you not play more Zach Moss? And then the guy that actually lost came back and said the real issue why I lost was Devonta Smith had 1 catch for 6 yards, and Justin Jefferson got hurt. And then I said, okay, I would be more pissed about that than.
Yeah, it's just unlucky.
Yeah.
That's just unlucky, to be fair. So, I think I don't know what I would have done if I had Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor. I still think I would have played. I think they even said he was going to be on staff count before the game, so
I would have started Moss.
I think I would have too. New York Giants may or may not be the worst team in football. New England may take that, but Miami, they look like freaks.
I think Giants are definitely the worst.
Does Saquon Barkley really want to come back to this?
I don't know why he did.
Danny Jones is hurting right now too. They tried the QB sneak and everyone got hurt.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
Danny Jones does not look. I mean, he's not going to be.
What happened from where they are now from last year?
I mean, their line really sucks, right?
But it's like the same O line though. Grant, your All-Pro left tackle hasn't played since I don't even know if he's played this year, but the last 3 or 4 games he hasn't played. That's understandable. But the rest of the guys, I think, are the same, and they just like bums. And then you have the right tackle, Evan Neal, saying everyone's a burger flipper and a shit.
To be fair, Evan Neal has gotten caught with his like pants down, and I'm not even sure he knows like what's going on some of these plays. Like these guys, he is ghosting some of these dudes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Danny Jones or whoever's back there is just getting hammered because I don't know. He doesn't have any idea of his assignment.
Yeah, there's 2 clips. I saw one versus the Dolphins where the edge rusher
walked right past him.
He just looked to his left instead of blocking that guy.
Yeah.
The sad part about watching that clip was the guy that had the free run at Danny Jones wasn't even the first guy there. There was another guy from the other side that got there before him. And then the other sad one was the clip where, gosh, who did the Giants play last week?
Didn't they get murdered? Let's see. Week 4, Giants played. Where are you at?
Seahawks.
Yeah, Seattle.
I watched a clip from that.
24-3.
They had either Bellinger or Darren Waller on a chip block.
And he was pushing.
And he was pushing the tight end in the back, and then the guy that was rushing just went to the right and just sacked Daniel Jones. I'm like, this guy's blocking his own teammates. He's not even blocking for his quarterback. Like
that dude has zero idea what he has zero idea.
And then he comes out here and says everyone else is a piece of shit and burger flippers.
Well, didn't the guard that they drafted, didn't he get hurt too?
I'm not sure. I know their center and left tackle are out.
Yeah, I have to check that one.
Were they the ones that drafted Osiris Lawrence or whatever? The Florida Gators guard.
Florida. I thought maybe they drafted. No, they drafted John Michael Schmitz, and he's out.
Yeah.
Not a guard, center. Yeah, they got John Michael Schmitz, center, out. Shane Lemieux, guard, out. Andrew Thomas, tackle, out. I mean, they got a list of folks.
I mean, even when those guys were playing, they were trash anyway. But
Evan Neal was limited practice. He's got a limited brain, but yeah, they aren't. They do not look the best.
They need to change the offense where the throws are getting out way quicker. They just don't have anybody. Nobody gets open. Watching their receivers' routes, nobody is open.
Yeah,
that's probably the worst to first. They weren't first, but first to worst turnaround year to year of. They were 10-5, 10-16 last year. They had double-digit wins, and they were in the playoffs, and they won a playoff game versus the Vikings. But then they got smashed by the Eagles the next week. Granted, last year was more of a fluke more than anything for them to be in the playoffs, but
they had kind of a cake schedule. But
they just
they don't look good. Miami
Dimes is just going to get murdered the rest of the year.
He is. What a silly use of money, but hindsight's 20/20.
No, you don't pay that.
Miami looking really nice though. Achian's gonna be out for a couple weeks.
Did they say what it was? I know it was knee related.
I thought they said possible MCL, but
that was the last thing I thought was just a knee related issue.
They just said multiple weeks.
Jeff Wilson might be coming back this week, so that helps them there. And it's any week now that Mostert dies.
Yeah.
And they got Mostert's standard.
Yeah. I mean, HN, he's a light dude. Probably lays like 180. I mean, looking at some of these hits, I would die.
But yeah, he's their running back of the future.
Good player, to be
Mostert
fair.
and Jeff Wilson are. I know Mostert's 31 and Jeff Wilson's late 20s.
27, 28, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyreek's looking pretty nice.
Doing his thing. Hey, let's just do a streak on 3rd and 4. Man on man coverage, no safety help. That'll work out.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they just let him over the top like that with nothing. I mean, I think you have to have a safety lurking on Tyreek Hill at all times.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that just seems silly. And they got some added firepower this week, so Claypool. Is he gonna go nuts or what?
I don't think he's going to play much.
Well, yeah, maybe not. New Orleans, New England. We got this one right. We were way off on the score. New England got the shit beat out of them. For the second straight week, Mac Jones gets pulled, and
Still, he's the starter. He's QB1.
to be fair, I don't necessarily know what you do with Mac Jones
This
because
is year 3. You have him for
you got him for another year,
another year and maybe 2 if you take the option.
which I don't think you would do.
I don't think you do either with what they're running right now, but you got nothing in the farm system to.
I mean, they've already cut Bailey Zappi, so it's not like they like him either. Stevenson does not look good. Gonzalez, torn labrum. Torn labrum, torn pec.
Torn labrum.
He's out for the rest of the season, which sucks because he was looking really
Was
good.
he? I know all year. Sheesh.
Um,
Usually that is what a labrum is, though. Labrum is usually done for the year.
yeah, he's pretty sure he's out.
0 offensive weapons.
No, and
I mean, you're
I
throwing
think
Kendrick Bourne out there. Juju, where you at, bud?
I
Got
mean,
that bag, and that dude is non-existent. And then you have Devontae Parker, who's a shell of who he was in Miami a couple years ago.
yeah,
And then you have the 2 tight ends set with
Henry.
Henry and Gesicki. Henry didn't have a target last week or yesterday,
No.
the other day. Gesicki had 4 catches for like 16 yards or something. They just have no. They might have worse weapons than the Chiefs. They do have worse weapons than the Chiefs.
I think Patrick Mahomes would probably make the New England receivers look better than what they have right now. minus Kelsey, obviously, but
You can make Juju look good. That's why he got the bag. And then whatever routes they're making him run are not anywhere near to what he was running last year.
I mean they're making. I've seen a couple of jet sweeps from Juju Smith-Schuster, and that actually does not make any sense at all.
That's not his game. He's not that speedster guy that should be doing jet sweeps.
No, that is nuts. Their line looks terrible though. Matthew got a nice little pick six there.
Well, you got Matthew Judon probably done for the year as well. Their defense is just
they're in shambles.
dying left and right. Yeah.
How old's Bill?
Late 60s, early 70s.
71.
Yeah.
I honestly though, I don't know. I don't think you can get rid of Bill. Bill's gonna have to step down on his own.
What needs to happen? Tennessee just is terrible the rest of the year. Tennessee cuts ties with Vrabel.
There's no way that they're
bring-
going to cut ties with Vrabel.
And the Patriots bring Vrabel back as former linebacker player to head coach.
I mean, that's probably like the easiest script that anyone could have written, but I don't know if that happens.
I don't know. Who knows?
To be fair, you were right on
JC
JC Jackson here this last week. So
happened
I
about 8 months sooner than I predicted. I was waiting for
didn't.
the end of the year for him to get cut and come back to New England, but they made the trade right away. So
Baltimore, Pittsburgh. We were off on this one.
yikes!
What happened to those bum receivers?
I mean, for our new segment, we're doing bum of the week.
Yep.
I have a tie between Dak and Jordan Love. You could throw Baltimore receivers into that category of bums.
They lost the game easily. I mean, Zay Flowers had that one, had like 2 or 3 over the middle that were just like, man,
that
what?
long 25,
Oh my
30 yarder that went through his hands. I think he was trying to make a cutback or something before he got the ball.
Make sure you got the ball first.
Rashad Bateman should not be playing.
Oh my gosh, Mandrews had a couple drops as well. He missed that touchdown.
So you have a touchdown to Bateman dropped on third down.
Yeah,
you have a touchdown. The
Andrews
one, it was a little high.
Pretty sure he got his hands on that.
He did get his hands on it. I still feel like you got to come down with that. I don't know if I would say that's a drop. I mean, technically it is, but
Mandrews had 3 drops. I think he got
that one's a tough one. That was the toughest one out of the other 2 that he dropped. And then Nelson Aguilar has a touchdown.
Those are some egregious drops.
Right through the bread basket on that one.
Yeah. Give Lamar some help.
Throwing dimes.
He did play pretty well, I thought.
Then instead of doing he played as well as he could have. The big issue for him was on the third down fade. Was it third down, second or third down? I think it was third down. The fade to OBJ that was picked off, you can't have that. Put it where only your guy can get it. If you don't get it, take the field goal.
Sure.
Then Pittsburgh has to go down and score, and your defense changes a little bit. You're not playing up at the line and having Pickens go over the top of you, because that would have made it a 6-point game if if he doesn't throw that pick there and they take a field goal. 6-point game, and the Steelers have to drive the entire field. I don't see that happening.
Took an audible from Kenny Pickett randomly, and Matt Canada in the booth
is pissed.
He may be the biggest piece of shit. What are you doing to where you're not going to celebrate a touchdown like that at the end of the game?
Because he called it HB dive.
Dude, screw that dude. That sucks. Get that dude out of there.
Especially when you're in the 2-minute drill and you have Najee Harrison.
Najee Harris is going to do 3 yards and drop.
100% a HB dive. That was 100% a handoff for 2 to 3 yards. And Pickett said, "Oh, I got one-on-one. Humphrey's been out for a couple weeks. Get toasted."
He got torched. Yeah, Humphrey got torched. Kenny Pickett in the shotgun on that?
Yes.
Oh, so halfback draw. Okay. Yeah, Humphrey got torched. Yeah, but I mean, they had 7 drops, 8 drops, 9 drops, whatever it was. They had the ability to.
I would say.
Zay Flowers.
How many did they have total? 7.
They had 8.
I would have said
Nelson, Bateman, Zay Flowers had 2 or 3, and then Mandrews, I think, technically had 3. So
I would say 7 of those are
egregious.
Egregious. The high one to Mandrews,
that's tough.
Yeah,
but man, and Bateman's
Aguilar's is probably the worst. Bateman's thinking about he's about to get hit. Aguilar's got nobody in front of him. I mean, but again, Aguilar's has that history of dropping balls.
You don't bring him back.
Preseason champs. This is the best offense he's ever had.
Hell yeah!
And you throw $18 million at a bum, OBJ.
OBJ, man, good player.
He went out for an equipment issue. He wasn't even hurt. What equipment is the issue?
I don't know.
I
I
need new
actually don't
shoes.
know. I'm not sure. I didn't see him switch shoes.
Bum.
Real big bum. We head out to Los Angeles. My hot take alert did not come through. Um, to be fair though, Rams defense does look pretty solid. Uh, they put in some work. AJ Brown though, definitely. I mean, he stole the show. For and Hurts. I mean, Hurts skated around some of these, but I mean, for how young the Rams defense is,
With
and
no big names besides Donald, I couldn't tell you
they
anybody else on that defense.
they played pretty nicely, I thought. And Puka Nakua is still the real thing.
100%.
Uh, yeah, he's
Told you
pretty
it's
good.
going to be the offense from a couple years ago.
Kyron Williams kind of got back involved as well. He had a little bit better of a run game, but golly, that front line from Philly is just monstrous. Jordan Davis is the biggest mug I have ever seen.
Yeah.
That dude, it's crazy how these folks can move this quickly at that size.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Jalen Carter. What did the NFL do, allowing those two dudes to be hanging out together?
Yeah.
Dude, I
Eagles is essentially Team Georgia.
Georgia, Georgia,
Yeah.
and they are a bunch of dogs.
The only thing I'm
Um,
upset about that game is I really need Devonta Smith to make a scene on the sidelines to get the ball.
yeah, Devon Smith did not have
One
too
catch
many.
for 6 yards.
He had a couple of screens that didn't go his way.
What do you mean? He had one catch.
Well, I mean, I think he dropped. He had a couple drops.
He's not getting the deep ball.
I mean, he had that touchdown. Well, I guess it was a good play from the Rams defensive back where Jalen Hurts had thrown it out to him. And he had Quez wide open right in the middle. Swift though, Swift looks really slick.
Kenny Gainwell's just non-existent anymore.
Yeah, I mean, what a clever pickup Swift was.
Is
They
that a
are
4th or 5th round pick for him too?
if they cut him this year, I think it's a fifth round compensatory.
No, what did the Eagles trade to get Swift?
Oh, I think it was a fifth, right?
It's a 4th or 5th. That's a steal in my book. And again, he could be doing this in Detroit.
Oh, fourth round pick in a swap of seventh round picks in this year's draft. And
He
I think
could be
there's
doing this in Detroit, but Detroit went dumb and got his replacement that's not even playing.
yeah, and
for less money too. Gibbs is getting paid first round money. DeAndre Swift will be getting his second round money in year 4.
Yeah,
but good stuff for the Eagles. I think he might be better than Sanders from last year.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about Sanders. Swift can do it all though. I mean, he's blocking pretty well. He's catching everything, and he looks pretty slick too, running the ball. So they look good. AJ Brown, monster.
Dallas Goddard, welcome to the show, buddy.
Back
Haven't
in
seen
the
you all
back in
year.
good graces. So
that dude hasn't seen anything all year, and he comes out with a 100 burger and a tutty.
Back in action. Yeah, I think you just don't have enough. You don't have enough the ball to go around for. I mean, you're going to get two or three, right? Or three of four, maybe 2.5 out of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Swift, Goddard, Smith, and AJ Brown. There's always going to be an odd man out somewhere. So
yeah.
I mean, the Eagles looked pretty solid, but really surprised at the Rams. I thought they held out pretty well.
Was it 23-14?
23-14 for
and the Eagles could have kicked a field goal at the end that would have helped my fantasy squad, but they decided to do a tush push brotherly shove on a 4th and 2 that didn't work out. But
That's
game was already over at that point. But
that thing is unstoppable too.
if it's less than a yard, yes, the 4th and 2, you're not going to be running that.
I mean that the Jalen Hurts touchdown at the end of the second half or in the first half, that was a yard and a half. I don't know. I thought it was a long yard to be fair.
Yeah.
But I mean they had a minute drill. I think is what ended up happening. AJ Brown got the defensive pass interference in the end zone, and then big old QB sneak, and they hustled right in.
Stones to call that.
I hope they do not outlaw that. That would actually really piss me off.
Absolutely, that'd be stupid.
Stop it. If you have a problem with it, stop it.
Well, how do you even outlaw that? You just can't have people push you in the back. Would that be the?
Yeah, they're gonna say player safety. I think it's bullshit though. So
they wouldn't outlaw the QB sneak. They would just outlaw getting pushed in the back.
Yeah, that's what I think they would do.
Interesting. I don't wish they did. I do not hope they do that.
Me neither. So, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow finally looks solid. I mean, he was running. He's still getting hit quite a bit, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Arizona's defense is not bad. Hollywood Brown, still a stud.
Yeah.
James Conner is going to be out
Doesn't
here.
matter who's back there. Hollywood, whoever is his quarterback, Hollywood's getting plays, making plays left and right.
Hollywood Brown, another one that could be up for grabs here sometimes.
I don't know if you do that.
You think they keep him around?
I would, and hopefully you get a high enough pick, you pair him with Marvin Harrison or something.
Let's see contract details. I mean, he's a unrestricted free agent in 2024.
Well, there you go. Trade him then.
If you're not going to do anything with him, I mean, I think you can get a pretty high pick for a decently high pick for Marquise Brown. I mean, dude's solid. Yeah, because this is the
first rounder trade
the last year,
2 years ago.
Yeah, and this is the last year on his rookie contract, right?
So I wouldn't give up a first for him, but
I don't think so either. But I mean, dude puts in work, so he looked pretty slick on his touchdown run or route. He left that cornerback for dead.
Yeah.
But Ja'Marr Chase is fucking open whenever he wants to be.
He told Burrow last week or 2 weeks ago he's always fucking open.
But Joe Burrow I thought looked pretty slick. He looked healthy. And,
yeah.
I mean,
he was
moving like he had confidence.
Doing a couple run outs, getting first downs. I think I saw him do a 12-yard rush.
Yeah. Fourth quarter.
I haven't seen that the first couple weeks. It was more of
Joe Mixon looks solid, mind you, against Arizona. But
yeah, Ja'Marr Chase, welcome to the show. Loved it.
It'd be interesting to see what happens with T. Higgins when he comes back.
Just another weapon. You just hope it's not too late for them to get back into the race.
I mean, it's probably going to be a dogfight in the AFC.
I mean, granted, they're only a game back at 2 and 3, but
yeah,
that division is going to. I feel like all those teams are.
What a tightrope!
I feel like all those teams in that division are going to split home and away inside conference.
Yeah, don't necessarily know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. Maybe another week for him too. I don't understand.
And they're what, 2 and 3?
Are they 2 and 3 as well? They're on a bye here this week, so.
They're 2 and 2 then. If they were on a bye.
2 and 2, yeah. Denver imploding. What are they going to do?
There's nothing you can do. You're stuck with the Russell Wilson contract. You're stuck with Peyton. You gave up a first and a second round pick, paid him all this money.
They said, I think they're talking about blowing it up. Surtain is the only one. He may be one of the only ones that is untouchable.
Somebody out there will take Judy or Cortland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Surtain is the only untouchable.
I feel like you blow that up too.
That's what Denver beat writers were saying. To be
Yeah.
fair, so
I mean, you can get it first for him.
even Jaleel McLaughlin is looking pretty solid. I mean, averaging like 7.1 yards a carry here this last game as a rookie. P Ryan I think had like 6.5 yards per carry, but man, Denver does not look good, and
They just cut Randy Gregory,
and are still paying him 14 million this year.
paying that contract. I thought that was dumb when they made that, but again, they're just trying to keep up with the Chiefs, and we need another edge rusher to get at Mahomes. Dude hasn't done anything since the Cowboys.
49ers, he'll probably play.
He'll be on pass rushing downs. He's not going to be playing much.
You think it ends up with 5 sacks this year?
No.
4.
3 tops.
3 tops. Okay.
I mean, he's just going to be on rushing downs. They're set with what they have on that line. He'll be a refresher when guys are tired after scoring a defensive touchdown and they need a break on the next drive. He'll come in. He's not going to be doing anything special with them paying the contract. Frank Clark's about to get cut or traded. It sounds like.
Does he come back?
Chris Jones is hyping it up and saying, "Hey, I'm talking to Peach about it." All this other stuff. I'm like, we get Ame Hanu
back here in
whatever his name is. Not this weekend, but next
week 7.
I'm just like, there's no need for Frank Clark. I mean, love the dude when he was here.
He shows up in big ways. And if Denver's gonna pay for most of his contract, I don't know. Can't you just give him league minimum?
And we have the money for it. I'd rather have a Carlos Dunlap, but hey, that's just me.
That's true. It'd be really, really interesting to see what happens with
And I don't want them to ruin FAU's development.
That's fair. Yeah. But then again, I mean, I think Frank Clark did a lot with Karlaftis here last year too. So
well, that's too. He could, I guess, come back
and be
a
mentor. Yeah.
Mentor, all that stuff. But yeah, Broncos are just. They're
really bad.
I don't see Judy or Sutton there at the end of the year. I'm 50-50 on Surtain. I think you. Are you going to spend that
Williams? Javonte? Is he going to be gone too? Javonte Williams?
He's what? This is his 3rd year. That sounds right.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, you still have him for another year. He just doesn't look the same, obviously, after the ACL.
Yeah, this is his 3rd year. Does not. He does not look the best, but
some guys take long to come back. But I mean,
not to blow that bad though. Breece Hall is looking real slick, Rick. 177.
I've waited 4 weeks for this to happen. Oh, I have him in 2 leagues, and he's like my RB2. My other running backs blow. I need him to perform.
Well, he did do that here this past week.
If he's doing half of what he did this week, like give me 80 yards, a couple catches for like 20 yards, I'll take that every week. I don't need a touchdown. I'll take the touchdown, but I don't need it. I just need capable running backs because one league, it's literally Bijan and Breece. And then I have Dalvin Cook, Algier, Charbonnet, and Khalil Herbert as my bench. And then my other league, Eckler's out, so he's obviously my RB1. So I'm starting Miles Sanders and Breece at the running back spots right now.
Yeah,
not great.
Miles Sanders doing. Yeah, Breece is looking pretty nice. Garrett Wilson goes from getting 12 targets to I don't know, like 3.
He had like a 30-yard catch though.
I don't know. Yeah, it
always makes you wonder what if Rodgers never got hurt, how good Garrett Wilson would be right now.
I'd be a nut.
That's what I'm thinking. Like he would have Devontae Adams type numbers.
Yeah, he would be.
He'd be getting all the back shoulder throws.
He would be freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. Zach Wilson, I don't think looked terrible, but
It's still the team's only going to go as far as that defense holds up and makes plays.
yeah. Good on Nathaniel Hackett though. I think the Broncos have
I
literally
loved that.
he got a game ball. I
John
think.
Payton just talking shit ever since he became the
Uh,
coach. He was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
the coach last year sucked. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that bad." And if you look at the first 5 games, Nathaniel Hackett was 2-3 last year. Sean Payton's 1-4.
I think they've lost to their old coach, a ball boy, a defensive coordinator. They're losing to everyone. That team sucks,
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be just like the Chiefs to go down, and it's gonna be like a 24-21 game, and it's gonna be down to the wire.
it's gonna be super frustrating, like it
Oh
was
my
last year
gosh!
when we went up 24-0,
Yeah.
and they made it a close game. I just hate division games because
Well, ask the Ravens. Steelers suck, and they go out and do that. So
we're not gonna get clamped like that. It's gonna be more anything. It's gonna be high scoring because I feel like our defense is just gonna half-ass it. Their defense isn't gonna do anything with us.
I don't know. I like our defense.
We looked good the first 3 weeks. We haven't since.
They didn't look bad here last week. Justin Jefferson had 38 yards.
No, we did good on him, but then we just let everything else. We had zero. We have zero pressure on the quarterback.
I don't know. Kirk Cousins kind of slipped out of there a few times, didn't he?
Not really.
Let's see, hurries.
And their O line's not that great.
The line.
They're like middle pack O line, and he was just toasting back there, campfire, roasting mallows, waiting to sling it.
Let's see. I'm actually kind of curious about this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. At 5 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, 12 QB hits.
Did we have 3 sacks? That seems like a lot.
Dana had 1, Chris Jones had 1, and Chenal came in real hot.
Okay. To be fair, we were the first team to shut down Jefferson this year.
Yeah, Jefferson got smacked around. We got a well, I guess that's the next game up. Yeah, I'm kind of peeved about this. People talking real loud about the Chiefs and the officiating. First off, officiating needs to be fixed. I think that's
just in general, yes.
In general, I do love though. L'Jarius Sneed just smacking.
Oh, love
Justin
that!
Jefferson
After 3 penalties the entire drive to get him down there, and the play before that, Jefferson sold that pass interference where Kirk Cousins just threw it up there. No chance of him catching that in double coverage. Kind of. Yeah. It was pass interference, but like he bitched out, made it seem worse than it was.
Good golly.
And so Sneed said,
on that
you're getting rung up, bud. Loved it.
That fourth down punt. That was holding there. I don't necessarily know.
You know they're faking that though. I just hate. We have one of the supposedly better special teams coaches and special teams overall in the league. That's been the same for the last couple of years. I don't see it. 50-yard line, 4th and 2. They're playing the Chiefs. They're 1-3.
They're going for it.
I know they're faking that. Half the time, if it's less than 4th and 5, I would assume for a fake every time. Anything longer than that, you can put a returner back there. If it's 4th and 5, I don't even put a returner back there. I don't care where the ball lands. I don't care if they catch it at the 2. I'd rather have the ball in Mahomes' hands at the 2 than have them get a new set of downs. It's so frustrating.
You're a bit cynical, Brian.
I even looked at my wife and I said, "Oh, 100% this is a sneak. Obviously, get it for 15 yards, whatever. There was a hold on it, whatever. They're not going to call it every time, whatever. But it's so obvious, and it just blows my mind. You have the
Well,
same number of guys they do on the line. Where was our guy that was supposed to be tackling that guy?
I don't know. He wasn't there. He was getting held.
It just blows my mind. You know it's going to happen. Every team does it almost consistent. I mean, I think that's the second. The Lions
Yeah,
had
the
one.
Lions did it on us. 4th and 2, I think, again at the 50 as well. So
No, it was 4th and 1, and it was on their. It was in their 30 or 40. It was on their
was
30,
it?
I think. It was. It was in their zone. I'm pretty sure it was inside the 30.
Um,
But
actually, yeah, I think you're right. They may have been like 25.
yeah, it was something absurd.
Wild.
But at the same time, I even thought about it. I was like, it wasn't even a yard. It was like inches. I'm like, half these people. You got to look at the coach too. Dan Campbell, dude's got stones. That dude is going for that half the time.
Yeah, that dude's a brick wall.
It's just, especially when you're a team that has technically no shot at winning the game, you got to do everything you can.
Yeah.
The Chiefs should be playing for that every week. Hey, 4th and 2 from the 50. These guys are not punting. It was so obvious it was happening. It was so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't necessarily expecting it. Did make sense, but yeah, just kind of it was a little bit frustrating. The whole ordeal with Snead, I don't know why Snead takes off his helmet at the end of that. Told him to put it back on as well. Wouldn't have changed anything. It would have been I mean, I guess they would have been on like their 2 or something like that. But
Oh no, they threw that from like the 20.
sorry.
That was like a 4th and 5 from like the 20 or something.
So it'd been a 15-yard penalty, and that they're on the 5.
No, it wouldn't have been a 15-yard penalty. It would have been half the
Is it only
distance to the
10?
goal.
Okay, so another 10.
Well, maybe it would have been 15. I don't know how. I think they only do half the distance to the goal when it's inside the 10. So yes, it would have been at the 5. Regardless, it was our ball. That was a great call to pick that up. That was Kirk Cousins just threw that up. Addison wasn't looking in any direction towards the ball. That was a great pickup on that. He 100% should have been flagged for taking the helmet off. Fine, great. That was a missed call on that part, but picking up the flag for pass interference, that was the right call. Yeah.
And the same folks that are saying that you can't call the Sauce Gardner pass interference. You can't call
He got his arm around his helmet and twisted him.
You can't call the Eagles pass interference in the Super Bowl.
You saw Jersey. Did you see Jersey against Addison?
Are ones that are saying you have to call that against L'Jarius Sneed. Referees are not good this year. We say this like every year, though. Last 2 years, though, it's been egregious, and maybe it's just been, even more so just because you have, you got these sleuths on Twitter that are just, going through it. And real time is a little bit always different than when you can run it back like 64 times. But
how many penalties were against the Chiefs and how many were against the Vikings that game?
It's like 10-4 or something.
There you go.
That.
You even know it because you probably looked it up because you were tired of seeing BS online about how we always get the calls.
Yeah, they only had 4, mind you. Some of those ones from, Snead, where he popped him in the face. It's like, yeah, we just
that one was deserved. So I'll go fine, 9-4.
9-4.
He did that one on purpose because he was tired of fucking Jetta being a bitch.
Yeah.
And then the other one I saw online, everyone crying about, especially Vikings fans, trying to say they picked off Kelsey.
Say what?
The other one I saw online when it came to the Vikings Chiefs game was everyone crying about, oh, that linebacker picked Kelsey off, like when he had the ball in his hands. And it's like,
oh yeah,
the dude caught it, legs, ass, back, all
On the
down
ground.
with possession, and then the guy ripped it out from him. Like, what are you talking about?
Does Kelsey play this week?
Yes.
Dude,
It
we're
said
in
it's
some
not a high
serious.
ankle. Did not say it was a high ankle. They said it was a low ankle sprain. He's
We
gonna
are
be
in
back for the second
some.
half. If it's high ankle, he doesn't come back in the second half.
We're in some serious trouble though if Kelsey gets hurt because Sky Moore, bum. Mahomes doesn't even like look his way. You know.
I just feel like him and MVS are just speedster guys that are distractions on every play.
I
That's how
mean,
I feel about those two.
they're on
MVS
the
especially because he's
they're on
just
the all
faster.
cardio team.
Yeah.
Watson is literally MVS, and
I
Mahomes
love
trusts
Watson.
Watson more. So
Get the ball to Watson. How about Ross?
had 2 drops.
I only remember one. I don't remember the other one. I remember the one where it was like a 12-yard button hook, hit him
Yeah,
right in the chest and fell. I remember that one. I don't remember the other one.
I'm
But that one
almost
that he caught on the
positive.
sideline,
Yeah, that was really nice.
that's
That
why
was really
he's
nice.
here.
Yes.
Dude, 6'4", throw those back fades to him. That dude will go up and get it every time.
Pretty sure he did have 2 drops though. To be fair,
I know he had 2 catches and he had 4 targets, so you might be right. I just don't remember what the other one was.
yeah. Vikings though, they're going to be in some trouble. I mean, I think Lions really run away with that division, but
That
without
division's done. It's Detroit
Jefferson
all the way.
without Jefferson for 4 weeks.
I still think they'll be fine. They'll still be putting up offensive numbers.
Addison maybe
Addison's
rookie of the
going to be
year.
getting some more volume and more touches for sure. Which, hey, I got him in both my dynasty leagues and another league. That dude's starting every week now. Love it.
Oh god, KJ Osborne not looking for the ball over the middle. What was that dude doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, Justin Ross needs some more balls. Rasheed Rice, still, that dude's a stud.
he's a good player.
Yeah, he's looking like our,
He's finding it.
honestly, he's looking like our best receiver currently.
I agree. We'll see.
Tony, I don't know if he's still nursing an ankle or whatever, but he still seems to be just on the gadget plays or 5-yard outs, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, it seems like currently. I mean, I know I saw he had like 2 or 3 catches that were 5-6 yard outs. They turned into first downs. That's cool, but like they were talking about him being wide receiver 1,
No chance, right?
making plays left and right, and just haven't seen it yet. It's the wide receiver room just still does not look good. I still feel like our offense is not
It's not clicking
where we need to be clicking for us to be Super Bowl contenders threats. I mean, we're still a playoff team, but
Yeah.
they need to figure it out. Maybe trade for something. I don't know. Go out and get you a Hollywood. Maybe I feel like you need to do something. It's just what we have is not working.
Hollywood Brown.
Sky Moore's looking like a bust more and more every day.
He is not playing well.
Especially when you look at it, we could have had George Pickens there. I mean, different teams, different schemes, but Pickens is looking like a stud, and Sky Moore's been bummy. So
yeah, he is bummed.
I think they let MVS walk after this year, or cut him after this year, because they front loaded his contract. We can get out of it with like a $3 million cap hit. Maybe pick up a good free agent or draft something worthwhile in the first round. I don't know, but they need something else in offensive wise.
Yeah, we're kind of hurting. Pacheco though, feed that boy the rock.
They went away from him.
I know, 16 carries for 55 yards and a tutty, but yeah, I would feed that dude. Couple more games left. Dallas and San Francisco. San Francisco. And to be fair, I love the fact that George Kittle put on that shirt underneath, said "fuck Dallas."
Yeah.
Let him know. I mean,
definitely
Dak. Let him know. If you don't like it, stop him. You know,
Dak, bum of the week for sure. All 3 picks. Where are you throwing, bro?
What are we doing?
The first one, I get he had some pressure, so he just chucked it up there. But again, that's first down. Throw that away. Do something else with that. The
Yeah.
second one, he tries to do a slant to Brandon Cooks. And if you go back and look at that play, CD Lamb's wide open on a slant on the other side or a cross on the other side. And then the third one, he just stares down. I don't remember who that was on that side. I think it was Cooks or Gallup again. Stares him down on a slant again, and the second string linebacker comes in and picks it off. Uh, Purdy doing his thing, looking studly. Kittle finally getting on the stat sheet. CMC another tutty, 14 in a row, just looking really good. Yeah, just
They
they're
don't look good.
they're cruising. San Francisco's cruising. It's easy.
They haven't really. I mean, I
simple.
guess I would say they haven't necessarily played. And they played Rams week 2, beat the shit out of Giants, and then 40 and the Cardinals. I don't know. I guess I would have thought that the Cowboys would have put up a better fight, but golly, that was dreadful.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'll be it'll be interesting to see Eagles and 49ers.
I feel like
That's going to shape up to
that's already
be
set up for the
such
NFC
a nice
championship.
game.
That's already set for the NFC Championship. None of these other teams are competing with either one of those teams.
No, they're and Brock Purdy.
Unless you get one of those games where it's 1 in 100, you get a win.
Yeah,
That's the only way it's not those two of the championship of the NFC.
Brock Purdy's looking nice. I mean, he's managing everything that he needs to be. So, Christian McCaffrey, not necessarily. He's not injury prone. I mean, he's putting in some absolute work. And then,
Hoping he's injury prone because I got Elijah Mitchell just sitting on my bench the last 5 weeks in like 4 leagues.
well, I mean, Elijah Mitchell, to be fair, can't find
He's
himself
hurt
healthy.
now too.
Yeah. So, yeah, not much to say. I agree though. Dak Prescott bum. Maybe Trey Lance gets a run out here soon enough.
You're paying him Dak too much, but
he's bummed.
Again, it comes down to the 49ers. It's one of those scenarios like the Eagles where
they got to stay healthy.
any 4 of the weapons are going to go off every week. The only guarantee you have is CMC. The only guarantee on the Eagles is probably Hurts.
Yeah.
Because Purdy could just give the ball like he did last week 4 times to CMC for tutties and only have a touchdown or 2, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because half of them are considered rushes. You have Debo go off like he did last week, and then he'll have like a 8, 10, what he ever had this week. Ayuk will go off 1 week. Kittle finally hitting the stat sheet.
Yeah.
It's the only guarantee you have on the 49ers is CMC every week. That's the only guarantee you're going to get double-digit points, I feel like. There's just too many weapons to go around. So
yeah. Good for best ball, not for a lineup to be tough to pick every week, to be fair. And then questionably worst game of the week, Green Bay and Las Vegas. Those are bad teams. Those are really, really bad teams.
Packers
Jordan Love
have gotten worse every week.
With Christian Watson back, I guess they threw that bomb. He had like a 76-yard.
That was a blown coverage, though. That wasn't a great play call.
It went through. That was probably about the only highlight of the night for
that offense,
for the Packers. But
besides the AJ Dillon drive where he had 6 for 40, I think, in a tutty. Other than that Broncos offense was oof.
You questionably think that who's that other kid that was playing, Taylor?
Yeah.
I think he looked better than AJ Dillon, to be honest. AJ Dillon does not look good.
16 for 72, baby.
Okay.
We're trying to ruin my hype train on hopefully someone trades me for him.
Yikes. If that's what you're waiting for, Aaron Jones is back in like a week, so.
You think? That dude's made of glass, apparently.
Yeah, that is true. The bowling ball lives on. Yeah, Jordan Love does not look the part he's gotten worse here these past couple weeks.
He's regressed. Yeah.
And if I'm Devonte Adams, I don't want to be in Las Vegas.
No.
Josh Jacobs, I don't want to be in Las Vegas. Max Crosby, I mean, unbelievable.
That dude's a freak.
He could do something unbelievable every play.
Yep.
I mean, I think he's got to be the face of the franchise.
Oh,
Max
100%
Crosby.
race. Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a goddamn Raider. So, yeah,
he's just
he's a nut.
affecting every play. It seems like.
Yeah. Jimmy G, I don't know why you paid that much money. So
They're trying to find a stopgap until they find something.
well, you drafted Aiden O'Connell. Just let him play.
He wasn't a high pick though.
Okay, fine. I mean, why would you pay Jimmy G $33 million to be a stopgap?
There wasn't anything else out there to be a good stopgap.
Beef up your line. Let Aiden O'Connell play, and even when they did play him last week, it was just that was a shitty situation.
I mean, I get what you're saying. There's no point for doing stopgaps. You might as well just throw a rookie out there and see what he's got. But at the same time, that might ruin his development. I don't know.
I
got a veteran for
don't pick someone. Spend money on your line, and give the rookie a chance. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you aren't necessarily. Josh Jacobs doesn't want to hang out with a rookie. Devonta Adams doesn't want to hang out with a rookie, so you got to keep those guys around. But I don't know. This seems so ass backwards.
You can't really get rid of Devontae with his contract.
You're gonna have to pay like half of it, right?
And just even the picks to get him alone is absurd. Jacobs really didn't have a choice but to come back to the Raiders because they franchise tagged him. He kind of has to play this last year out. They can franchise tag him again next year, so he's essentially there for another year.
I hate that. I think that's trash too.
Well, change that rule to you get one franchise tag.
Yeah,
that would be ideal. But
there's no way that these players can just eat.
Because he'll be 26, 27 by the time he's able to test free agency.
Yeah, that's BS. I think that's trash. Yeah, I think Devontae Adams' potential outs in 2025. He cap hit.
I'm pretty sure he signed a 3-year,
$67 million. Yeah, his dead cap next year is $40 million.
Yeah,
it's 54 this year. So, I mean, I guess he signed a 5-year, $140 million deal, but he potential outs 3 years, $67 million. They're still going to have in 2025 dead cap is 15.7 and then 7.8. So they owe that man so much money, and he is just rotting. He's gonna be 30. He's gonna be 33 when he gets out of this. So, yeah, I mean that sucks for him. But you make a bet and you lie in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was kind of a bait and switch on the Raiders, though. I feel like.
Oh, come play with your best friend from college.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a trash move.
He's
move
gone.
on our part. But
is Jimmy G better than Carr?
No way. Derek Carr is a solid quarterback.
I get that. What's their price difference? What did Carr sign with the Saints?
40.
So you're really gonna make Devontae Adams pissed off for $7 million because Carr's not the guy, but you signed Jimmy G at That's the other issue with what you're talking about with Aiden
No,
O'Connell.
no, I'm way off. Derek Carr signed a 4-year, $150 million contract, including $28.5 million signing bonus. His potential out's 2026, 3-year, $100 million. So, annual salary is 37.5. Whereas
So $4 million more. I think Jimmy G was 3 for 90 or something.
Let's see. 3 years, 72. Okay, so potential out though, 2 years, 48. So he is literally 1 year, 50 million off. I just still don't think this is worth it. I would give Derek Carr more money over Jimmy G
100%. Everyone
any
would.
day of the week.
Anybody would, especially to keep your guy happy that you just paid 150 mil to be your number one receiver.
What are we doing here?
And his stats compared to his stats with Derek Carr from last year, targets are way down, catches are way down, touchdowns are way down.
Yeah,
that just doesn't make sense.
I don't think.
And what's your thought process on that? Oh, Derek Carr is not going to get us over the hump and get us into where we want to be.
Jimmy G ain't doing.
Is Jimmy G going to be any better? Like what?
No way.
You're going to have a better chance with Carr. So that whole thing where they're like, yeah, we're just going to bench Carr the last 2 weeks of the season. And yeah. And then Stidham played good 2 of those games, or 1 of those games.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I think Stidham's going to be the guy next year. And they just let him walk to the Broncos. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a team without a sporting project, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Just
and really, the
another weird
only thing
scenario.
that's holding like Devonta Adams anywhere close is that 172 yards against Pittsburgh with 2 tutties.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like 45 yards, 75 yards, 84 yards, 66. I mean, it's pretty in the mill.
Any TDs in those games?
1 against Buffalo. They lost 38-10 though.
Okay, yeah.
Chargers, they lost 24-17. I mean, even Denver, 17-16 win. What are you doing?
So they're 2-3 right now. I think they would be 3-2 if Carr was their quarterback.
I think you beat Pittsburgh, and I think the Chargers game, they're questionably 4-1.
The Chargers game, I'm pretty sure Jimmy G had 3 picks.
No, just Aiden O'Connell was the.
Well, one game Jimmy G had 2 or 3 picks, and they lost.
Yeah, that was Khalil Mack. Literally had 6 sacks.
Okay, so it wasn't the Chargers game.
Buffalo, he had two picks.
It had been the Steelers game then.
Yeah, 3 picks that game. And
they win that game probably if Carr's playing.
And I mean, I guess we can't necessarily say because Jimmy G didn't play in the Chargers game, but
if Carr's playing that, you probably win that. You lose by 7.
You lost by 7 in a game where Khalil Mack had 6 sacks.
Yeah. Like I said, 6 sacks. That's great for him, but 3 of those were actually. I would say half of those were coverage sacks, or half of those were Khalil Mack beating his guy and getting to the quarterback, not
get strapped.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. Raiders.
And you put a rookie out there. Rookie's going to hold on the ball longer trying to make a play than a 10-year vet, knowing that.
Yeah, screw that, dude. Yeah. Feel bad for Aiden O'Connell. Got put in a shitty situation, I thought. So,
100%.
Yeah. Is what that is. But just glad I'm not a Raiders fan. So,
yep.
That's yeah, but watch out for Max Crosby. What I guess score of the Chiefs game Thursday. What do we got? It's gonna be about a nice
30,
76 degrees
34,
outside.
34-24.
Man. 28-14 for me. 28-17. I'd say that back. Jerry Judy.
I just hate doing just straight up touchdowns. I feel like there's always a field goal in there somewhere. That's why
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about. I'm like, there's got to be a Bucker field goal here somewhere.
All right, 27-17. We'll do that instead.
Yeah.
Good thinking, Brian. That's all I have. But Brian, like you talked about, we got a new segment this week, Bum of the Week, and we'll give it Bum of the Week as well as a runner up. Who you got?
Bum of the week for sure. I got to go Jordan Love. Just because 3 picks, no touchdowns, just looked dreadful. On one of the picks, he was staring down his guy on a slant. I feel like
Yikes! He was looking that guy right in the eyes,
I was like, okay, the
looking
guy,
into his soul.
the Spillane who intercepted it is one thing. The other guy next to him was going to pick it as well, and maybe the guy in the back of the coverage might have picked it as well. Runner up, Dak. I feel like they're 1A, 1B. I'm only giving Dak the runner up because he had a touchdown on a nice throw. And they played the 49ers defense compared to the Raiders defense, who is nowhere near the 49ers. So, yeah, my bum of the week is definitely Jordan Love, 1A, Dak, 1B. Did not look good at all.
Who was the I guess your go-to player of the week for this week?
Ooh, stud of the week is definitely Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he kind of went bonkers.
Love DJ Moore. He's probably 1B.
Yep.
But DJ Moore had one of those games last week as well. Jamar Chase, we haven't seen it all this year until this week.
Joe Burrow finally turning around.
3 tuds, 15 receptions, 100 whatever, 70 yards, whatever it was. Yeah, that's my 1A, 1B. How about you?
Jamar Chase, I think had to take that, and then I mean, I think Tyreek Hill is he's unbelievable.
You have a chance every week to, if he's on your fantasy team, you have a chance to win every week, realistically.
I mean, he is going absolutely bonkers, and I love watching the Dolphins. I think we were spot on with they're going to be in the AFC Championship easy. I don't think there's any way that they're not. They're going to have some tough stuff against maybe the Bills. I mean, they're going to have to go play New
I want to see what they
England
do versus the Jets.
and the Jets. Is that later on in the year?
I'm not sure, but that's the only other one I'm worried about. Yeah, for sure. He's going to put up numbers against the Bills, but he's not going to be putting up the crazy numbers that he's been putting up because the Bills usually clamp him down pretty well.
Yeah.
He got clamped by the Patriots because they played 3 safeties over the top. But so everyone else had a field day.
I mean, they're going to have some problems. They play Bills. Oh, no, is that out Dolphin? No, I guess that's down in Miami. They play in Baltimore, December 31st. That's going to be tough. The Jets, December 17th. Oh, no, that's a home game for them. But November 24th, they play at the Jets. So,
and I'm looking at they probably have the best offense in the East. But
easy.
They
have
also
the best offense in the NFL.
Yes, but they also have the worst defense in that division.
You think the Bills are still nice after Matt Milano going out?
They haven't gotten Von Miller back yet. Matt Milano's a stud, but I don't think that. I still think they're a system team, just like the Patriots. You can plug and play anybody in there. In my opinion, they're still the worst defense. They're besides Xavier Howard. I think everyone on that defense is just eh.
When does Ramsey come back? he done?
He should be
Is
back
he?
here soon, but we'll see how he integrates into that. That might change some things.
Um, yeah, knee injury early on in camp. Um, I mean, yeah, him coming back could make a
Huge difference for sure,
that's
but
gonna make a pretty big
currently,
difference.
even with all the injuries to the Bills and the Pats D, they're still the worst defense in that division.
Even without Judon and Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Oh God.
unfortunately, they have
Uh,
they have a lot less like known names, but they know how to play the system perfectly. Like you think of Bradley Chubb, big name. Does he even have a sack this year?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
He wasted a first round pick to go get that guy. I don't see it with him.
Fair. Um, yeah, we'll see. I think they're gonna be nicer here than.
I still have them as the number 1 seed, so I'm
I
sticking
don't
with
know.
that.
It's Arrowhead Invitational.
I
Gotta go
think
through them.
the only one I'm really pissed about currently is the Packers prediction. Oof.
Yowzas.
I had them double digit wins winning that division. They're 2-3 and the Lions are 4-1. Yikes.
Yeah. Lions
That's
are
the
gonna
only one that's the
run it
only
back.
prediction that I feel bad about. All the other ones
Jaguars may
I'm
they'll
still
probably squeak
feeling
them.
I'm way more confident
Suspect. Yeah, they're suspect.
I'm way more confident in that one than the Packers coming back and winning that
Yeah,
division. So.
Packers ain't doing that. Well, that wraps it up. Got the Chiefs game on Thursday. Stoked for that. Hopefully, they beat the absolute piss
I would
out
love it.
of out of them. I don't think Andy Reid's going to do that to Sean Payton, but golly, let him know.
Yeah.
Let him know. That does it for me. B, you got anything else?
Nope. Good luck at the game. That's dope that you're going. We were talking about going to a game this year, and pricing and house repairs is probably taking that out of the question, unfortunately, unless we get a friend deal that's sell them on the cheap. But
Yeah,
enjoy
ask
it.
around.
This is
Ask
probably
around.
your last big event before their old kid comes out. So enjoy it while it lasts, man.
Yeah, and then I'm reading books for the rest of my life. So,
Well,
everyone, boy in the beard, take care.
deuces.
Peace.